Amen. If you're glad to be in church tonight, say amen. Let's get a hymnal, page 309. Let's stand together. Let's sing this chorus, Come, Holy Spirit, thou art welcome in this place. Let's sing it together. Holy Spirit, thou art welcome. Amen. You may be seated. You got a mic.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
I want to hear the kids sing. Say amen.
Amen. I am a promise. I am a possibility. With the capital P. I am a great big bundle of potentiality. And I'm learning to hear God's voice, and I'm trying to make the right choice. And I'm promised to be anything God wants me to be. I can go anywhere that He wants me to go. I can be anything that He wants me to be. I can climb the high mountains, I can cross the white sea. I'm a great big promise to see. I am a promise. I am a possibility. I am a promise. With a capital P. I am a great big bundle of potentiality. And I'm learning to hear God's voice, and I'm trying to make the right choice. And I'm promised to be anything God wants me to be. Peter, James, and John in the same boat. Peter, James, and John in the same boat. Peter, James, and John in the same boat. Down by the deep blue sea. They're so wide and caught no fishes. They're so wide and caught no fishes. They're so wide and caught no fishes. Down by the deep blue sea. Resting walking down by the water. Resting walking down by the water. Resting walking down by the water. Down by the deep blue sea. Now their nets were full and breaking. Now their nets were full and breaking. Now their nets were full and breaking. Down by the deep blue sea. All their friends who come and help them. All their friends who go and help them. All their friends who come and help them. Down by the deep blue sea.
Thank the Lord. Those youngins did another wonderful job. I look forward to hearing them on Wednesday nights, don't you? Amen. And seeing y'all smiling faces. This is a good crowd tonight, even when the pastor's gone. Amen. And he would be encouraged about that, because one of these days we're going to give an account to God of our faithfulness. Amen. And this is the faithful group right here on Wednesday night. That's the cream of the crop. Amen. And it's good to see your smiling faces. You've had a good week so far, and you're able to be in midweek prayer meeting. Roger, would you mind help us with testimonies? And Lee, would you on this side? Because I believe these people have something burning on their heart tonight. You just couldn't wait to get here to tell
While
what
we're
God's
waiting
been
on
doing.
Bob, though, whoever oiled the doors, I want to thank you. The hinges on these doors, when I just walked under it, it just, big blow. I thought a bird had got into church. So I wiped that off my forehead, so whoever did that, thank you.
Thank you. Well, praise God. It's wonderful to be in his house. He returned us home safely from our trip, and we were looking forward to seeing the beautiful cherry blossoms, but we did it at about 30 degrees. So they must have come out when it was warm there. Now it's freezing cold. And but the Lord was good. He gave us time to get around and see the monuments and the museums and George Washington's home and different things. And it's just so wonderful to know that God is still in control.
Amen.
Still on the throne,
Yes.
still answering prayer,
Praise God.
still interceding on our behalf.
Yes, he is.
And I love the Lord, always be a child of the King.
Amen. Good.
I want to thank the Lord tonight for answering prayer, and I want to thank him for his faithfulness. I'm glad that we can always turn to him
Amen.
when anything is going on in our lives. And lately, it seemed like the devil was really trying to work on me through fear of this, fear of that, and I thought, I can't live like that. I cannot. And I thought, I'm thankful that when I took it to God, and he gives me peace, and peace that passeth all understanding.
Amen.
I love him with all my heart, and I want to always serve him.
Praise God. Praise God. Thank the Lord.
Sunday we sang the song, Great is Thy Faithfulness, and the part of it says, Great is Thy Faithfulness, Lord, unto me. Morning by morning new mercies I see. All I have needed Thy hand hath provided. Great is Thy faithfulness, Lord, unto me. I'm thankful for definite answers to prayer just this week. I'm thankful that God knows what we need before we need it.
Amen.
And then we can say the answers on the way. This I know. Jesus said it, I believe it, and
Praise
it's so.
God.
Our Heavenly Father knows our need before we pray. And we can rest assured the answer's on the way. I want to live my life pleasing to Him. Trust Him more.
Amen. Praise the Lord. Bless you.
The word abiding, and I don't know really why, but I think the Lord has just been reminding me of how his love and his grace and everything that he has to give to us is abiding, it's long lasting, it's enduring. And it's reminded me how the Lord never tires of us.
Amen.
He never runs out of ways to help us. He never leaves us. And sometimes as humans, we get tired and we need a break from the things that we're dealing with or the people that we're helping, and we need a refreshment. But the Lord never tires of us, and he never leaves us. And I'm
Never.
thankful for his abiding love.
Amen. Praise God. Praise the Lord.
Well, I thank the Lord. I'm feeling much better than I was the first part of the week, so
Amen.
that's something to praise Him for there. And I'm glad He saved me, sanctified me, He's keeping me and helping me, and I just intend to serve Him
Praise
the best of my ability. I love Him tonight with all my heart.
Amen.
Amen. Praise God. Roger?
Wow.
Good exercise for you.
Next. I taught her I first, but
So a few weeks ago, I was kind of going through something where every time I would pray, I'm used to feeling something. I'm used to just feeling like I know that I got through, you know.
Amen.
And I was going through a time where I was just not feeling anything, to the point where I really wanted to cry, and I couldn't. And then anytime I did, I was so happy I stopped crying. I mean, it was just ridiculous. And I was like, man, I don't know what's going on. And I read a biography of someone, and he described exactly what I was going through. And it was encouraging to see another Christian that went through that exact same thing and described it exactly how I did, you know. But he said that he read the sermon by Charles Finney of breaking up the fallow ground.
Amen.
And I was kind of thinking about what you said last week about that revival that happened because the preachers. And you know, he has been dealing with me. Every night I've been making it a habit to sing the song Cleanse Me. Just search me, O God,
Amen.
know my heart
Sure.
today. See if there be some wicked way in me, you know. And he does that whenever you sing that song.
Amen.
So he's been working on me. And I think one of the biggest things he's shown me is envy.
Amen.
And I think that I don't envy like other people do. It's a spiritual envy where I see God using other people and I think, man, I want him to use me like that and maybe even me instead of them. And so he's been working on just so many things in my personal life, making me draw closer to him. And I was thinking, you know, Den was like, wow, you know, you're going through a lot right now. This must be depressing. But no, it's really not whenever you know that he's so close to you. I mean, that's the mountain right there, is whenever everything's going poorly, but you know that he's right there. And the valley is whenever everything's going well, and maybe you forget that you need him. And so I'm thankful for him. I'm thankful for his
Praise
faithfulness,
God.
and I love him.
Praise God. Amen. Amen. Thank the Lord.
I love the Lord tonight, and I'm so glad that he's so faithful. He's there all the time, and anytime I need him, anytime anyone needs him, he's right there for you.
Yes, he is.
And I take it, Bob, that you didn't go into Washington, D.C. in the convoy, right? The truckers' convoy. Anyway, I had to get that in there and tease him a
He
little
didn't
bit.
see your son, if that's what you're trying to find
No,
out.
he wasn't there. He
Okay.
didn't go there. His truck's been down for over a week. So I think he finally got out yesterday. So anyway, back to the Lord. I love him. I love him supremely, and I want to serve him the rest of my life.
Amen.
And I want to be a good witness
God.
to him or
Praise
for
God.
him. And I love him with all my heart, and I want to take the rest of my children with me.
Amen.
And that some of them are serving him. Oh, I just 3 left. One passed away.
Praise
No.
God.
The other two of them are serving him, and then the one is my oldest one. He needs a lot of prayer. But anyway, I love him, and I'm going
Amen.
to serve him the rest of my
Amen.
life.
Amen.
I was sitting here trying to figure out what I would actually say as the Lord nudged me to get up and testify. I have no sad stories to tell. I have no real issues to relate. I have no problems that can't be managed.
Right.
I think the biggest issue is letting the Lord do his part. And I'm glad for his faithfulness.
Amen.
Not long ago, I get frustrated. I'm one of these, find out what the problem is and go fix it. And, you know, I've had a lot of management jobs, and it was my job to fix it. You know.
That's your DNA.
And I'm just kind of programmed that way.
Yeah.
But he has been speaking to me and telling me, do what you can do. The rest of the sentence is, let me take
Amen.
care of the rest.
Yes.
And I'm thankful for answered prayer. I'm thankful for the way that I can see things working
Good.
and to his good. And I'm
Good.
thankful for him in my life.
Praise God. Amen. Amen. He can't let his wife show him up.
When I was in college, I had one of my graduate teachers. She said, "Terry, you think you know everything." I said, "Well, no, I don't know how you got that idea, but I do know one who does, and I want to praise the Lord. He knows everything, and he knows
Yes, he does.
how to handle us and how to keep us in his arms. Praise the Lord."
Amen.
He doesn't think he does.
God bless Gloria.
Well, I always have a testimony.
And we will listen.
I'm always glad to be in church.
Amen.
I tell you what, I did the one dreaded thing everybody hates every year that I did today. I went and paid taxes, or did my taxes today. But you know what? Sitting there talking to this young lady, doing my taxes, and I told her about my son passing away, because I told her, I said, I need to make an appointment with your attorney because he has to change my executor and all that stuff. But I said, she said, I got a question. How can you have such a tremendous faith when you've lost your husband, your daughter, and your son, and you're still praising the Lord?
Amen.
I said,
Praise
because
God.
I know that I will see
Praise
him
God.
again one day.
Amen.
I said, you know,
Praise
if
God.
I hadn't led my faith in such a way that I helped get them to where they believed in the Holy Spirit, I said, believed in the love of God.
Amen.
I said, I may have lost him.
Right.
I said, this way I know that I will see him again. When I think of my husband he just lived 2 weeks after he got saved.
Praise God.
But I tell you what, he spent that 2 weeks making amends for everything anybody had ever thought he wronged.
Glory to God.
He made amends
Glory
trying to
God.
make that right.
Praise God.
And I tell you what, I am so thankful
Amen.
for the power.
Amen.
And like I told her today, I am so thankful for the power of God and the power of prayer.
Amen.
He never lets us down. People may let us down.
Right.
God never lets us
Right.
down.
Praise God.
I am so thankful for his love tonight.
Amen. Wonderful. Bless his name. These are good. Appreciate these wonderful testimonies of what God's doing in your life. Amen.
I have so much to praise the Lord for. I
Amen.
love him with all my heart. I want his will to be done.
Yes. Amen.
You're next. No, you can't touch it.
You know what? I sang that little song them little kids sing. I sang it one day over and over and over and over and over. I don't know where I was driving, but I was singing it in that one little place that says, I am listening to hear God's voice, and I'm trying to do God's choice. And I know I'm a promise to be. And you know what? I'm sorry to tell everybody, but I don't know if I've ever heard Jesus' voice, and that really has bothered me.
Sure.
Maybe I'm too busy. I don't have time to listen. I don't know, but I talk to the Lord and I say, Lord, I want to hear your voice. And maybe he has talked to me, but not in loud, like I talked to Miss Houdini. Miss Houdini here. I can't even say her name. Oh, well, anyway, whatever I'm doing, that's what I'm doing. I'm sorry.
God bless you. Amen.
That's good.
Amen.
Sister Paula, you're next.
I have verses on my mirror, and my favorite verse right now is, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And
That's a
I've
good
had to
one.
look at that and say that, and it had to remind me because some things are getting harder to do now. So I know that he gives me strength, and I know that he will continue to give me strength. And I love him with all my
Praise
heart.
God. Praise God. Bless his name. Amen. Wonderful. Wonderful.
I overheard an interesting conversation. We were riding a bus in Washington, and there was a group of German kids behind us. We were passing church after church after church. One of the girls turned to the other one. She said, you know something that's different here in America? She said, everybody goes to church Sunday morning, Sunday night, and Wednesday night. And she said, you know, it's really interesting to me. She said, it's like a social club. And so grabbed me in that moment. I'm so glad it's not a social club.
Amen.
I'm so glad I know the
Praise
Savior
God.
who walks with
Praise-
me and talks with me every day.
Praise God.
And then I come to his house Sunday morning and Sunday night and Wednesday night, and I can meet him there as well. I'm so
Amen.
thankful it's not a social
Praise
club.
God. No. Amen. I appreciate the fellowship we have with God's people. Amen. Most of God's people, I appreciate the fellowship. Go ahead, Brother
Who
Romans.
he's talking about. On my way to work this morning, I was thinking of some scriptures, and I was thinking that all the disciples were in the upper room. They were all in one accord. And there came the sound of a rushing mighty wind, and it filled the house.
Amen.
I look forward to the day
Yes.
that God comes in that way for us and fills our house with His Spirit.
Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Kind of like the way that he came and filled your house, that what you were telling us about Sunday. Amen. He could do it to this house.
Well, I haven't been here for a while. I actually, well, some of you know that I've had a cancer diagnosis, and so I went to see 4 of my children and flew all around to see 3 of them around the country. And I spent quite a bit of time on South Carolina, Charleston Beach. It was a little cold, but I still was there, and I had about 4 days to sit at the beach and put my feet in the sand and pray and just speak to God, because it was totally by myself.
Amen.
And it's amazing when you're quiet and have that much time without another person there, you can really hear God. And He showed up in a big way for me in my life. And so anyway, He's just told me a lot. I'm just really comforted that this cancer diagnosis is not going to kill me. I really solidified in my faith that God, on the cross, He, took care of our diseases and our disorders, and I'm believing that He, by His stripes, I am healed.
Sure.
So I'm happy to be back,
Praise God.
everybody, and thank you for
Praise
your
God.
prayers.
Amen. Praise His holy name. Bless His name.
Back in 1969, I think it was, there was a college campus that revival broke out on. I can't remember the college or where it's at, but it's here in America. And it was what? Asbury College, yes. And a group of students got together and started praying for revival on their campus. And through that willingness to pray, a great revival came about, and
Amen.
it crossed from one side of America to the other.
Yes.
In 1970, I was at Olivet Nazarene College, and the word of that revival came to the college campus, and we again saw a mighty move of God there on campus. My prayer tonight
Amen.
is for America and for our leaders and the country of Ukraine.
Amen.
All those people that have nothing to go back to.
Right.
Many of them don't have any money. A lot of those kids are suffering because of seeing bombs and people dead in the streets. But friends, that could happen here in America just as well it has happened in Ukraine. I thank God for everything. I was laid in bed last night. I began to pray. I said, Lord, I've got so much to be thankful for.
Amen. Amen.
I've got a
bless.
place to stay. I've got food in my refrigerator, and you've blessed me so much more than I really deserve.
Amen.
But I just pray that somehow
Praise God.
that God would help me
Praise God.
to get a hold of my daughter, my
Amen.
son-in-law, my grandkids.
Yes.
Fortunately, my granddaughter during a few weeks ago when the groups were here, she met a couple of the girls from Penn, and she got their numbers, and she's been corresponding back and forth. She's coming to church with me again
Praise God.
this Sunday morning,
Amen.
and she keeps, when I'm sitting here, she'll keep hitting me. She said, Grandpa, are you thinking about Mom? I said, yeah, I think about her because I cry a lot. I don't mean to, but that's just me. And she said, Poppy, I I like to see you that way. And I just pray that somehow that God will intervene in her life. She may be the one that wins the family. I don't know. But I've got to be faithful and do all I can. And I just ask the church to pray. I drive from Danville, Indiana here, and it's quite a ways. But you know, I told my daughter the other day, I said, I don't want another church.
Amen.
I've got a church that I love.
Praise
I've got a church that preaches the gospel, and I've got people that I know that when they say they'll pray for me, they're praying for me.
Amen.
So I just ask the church if you'll
Praise God.
help pray for my daughter
Praise God.
and my grandkids.
Amen.
They were once in church. He was a youth minister of Nazarene Church. Something happened, and they got them turned against the church, and they just don't want to go anymore. But I know God's able.
Yes, He is.
And I just pray that
Amen.
somehow that we will continue to have the services that we're having. Oh, I just feel the presence of God when I come in here.
Praise God.
I just know that when I come to church that God's
Amen.
going to meet us. That's all.
Amen. Praise God. Good. Good. Praise His name. These are wonderful testimonies. Praise God.
Well, I didn't think I was going to testify tonight, but while I was sitting here, I kept thinking about a book that I read recently. It was talking about different Christians who had been imprisoned for what they believed. And one of the stories in that book was about Christians in a country where you're not allowed to have Bibles, and they got stuck in prison. And all of the Christians that were in that prison together wrote down every Bible verse that they could remember, and that was their Bible for years while they were there. And it really served as a challenge to me to start making a better effort to remember Bible verses, because what if I ever get in that position and that's the only Bible I have?
Amen.
We are so blessed to live in a country where we can
Amen.
have 5 or 6 or 7 or however many Bibles we want. But there may be a day when we can't do that. And
Right.
it was a real challenge to me. And then it also brought me back to a time when I was in college. For some reason, when I moved into the dorms, I forgot to pack my Bible. And I wanted to read a Bible so bad, I started praying for one. And within a week, God had a Gideon show up on the sidewalk and hand me a Bible. And I was just thinking, you know, how lucky we are. And I just wanted to thank the Lord
Praise
for that.
God. Bless His name. Amen. That is so true. Amen. Thank the Lord for America, our freedom that we still have. Amen. We could.
I'm going to testify then if no one else is going to. But
Well, there's one in the back there, but go
Is there?
ahead, brother.
okay. I might not get a chance to testify after
Yeah.
this. I'm just kidding. Let me come around here.
He's coming.
I'm coming.
I sat here trying not to get up. I know I'm long-winded usually, but I'll tell you what, I learned a lesson one time from Brother Grimion. You probably already remember what I said, but I have a habit of turning around. We sat way up front, turning around and watching people's faces while I was testifying. And if I could make you smile or laugh, I thought I'd really done it. You know what? Brother Grimion came down from the platform one time after church was over, and he said, Sister Creech, I want to tell you something. A testimony is to glorify God.
Amen.
And he left it at that. I think of that often because I don't know any comedians in my family except Uncle August, the stuttering preacher. Uncle August Love, he made people laugh, but I don't know why that's in me, that I just prefer, you know, to have a reaction. But I know tonight that I love the Lord with
Amen.
all my
Praise
heart.
God. Praise
I know
God.
I failed
Bless
him
her, Lord.
many times, but
Amen.
he always forgives. He
Yes.
always is
Amen.
ready to take me on. The
Amen.
Lord he's just not too busy to understand and listen to us. I love him with all my heart.
Amen. Praise God. Bless His holy name. Amen. Praise God.
Well,
All right, Roger.
Sister Glory gives me a hard time and when she comes to church and she testifies and I don't. But we say often that God is always on time.
Yes.
But sometimes he's ahead of time.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how much I should tell you about this, but on March the 9th, we had prayer meeting here. And I don't know if you remember that night, but Dawn Roselle told about how she'd been sick, went to the hospital. After the insurance had paid, they still owed $5,000, and she didn't know how they're going to pay it. And that day, her husband Mark called and said that the hospital wrote it all off, all $5,000. And I thought, wow, do I have enough faith to pray that God can take care of things like that? And so when we went up to pray that night, I said to Dawn, Gloria reminded me of this, we were at the tax guy on that day, and we found out that we owed $1,000 in taxes, which did make me very happy. But I said to Dawn, I said, I'm going to have you pray that somehow that tax bill will just go away. And she laughed, and we laughed. Now, remember, that was on March the 9th. Well, Donna pays all of our bills at the beginning of the month, never looks at the checkbook or again. But this week, we got the bank statement. She said, there's a lot more money in here than we're supposed to have. I said, well, praise the Lord. But you know what happened? A check came for $1,700. Guess when? On March the 4th. We've rejoiced all week because not only does God hear our prayer and answer our prayer, but sometimes before we even know what we need,
Amen.
He supplies the need.
Amen.
Paid off our tax bill and gave us $700 more.
Praise God.
I mean, that's the God we serve, folks.
Amen.
That's just the God we serve. He
Praise the
loves
Lord.
us.
Praise
and
God.
we got to understand He wants what's best for us.
Amen.
And if we trust Him, He'll give it to us. Praise His name.
Praise God.
Anybody
Yeah.
else want to testify?
Glory to God.
You can borrow it from Donna if you want to.
With Roger was testifying, the one-year-old teacher at the daycare stopped and was asking me some questions. She says, I want to talk to your husband again about the end times. I want to see what he has to say about it. Because Harold had taught Sunday school there when we was there. And I said, you know, God has blessed America because we supported Israel. And I said, that's in the Bible. If we honor and support His people, He
Amen.
will bless us.
Right.
As not just us personally, but us as a nation.
Right.
And I said, we need to pray that our country keeps blessing Israel
Yes.
and stands behind Israel, not just for the blessing, but to glorify God. And I love Him supremely.
Amen. Praise God. Praise
Hallelujah.
God. Amen. Wonderful. Glory. These are good. These are good. Amen. Amen. These are good. I've just had something going through my heart this week and asked my wife to look it up. And I was going to have maybe some of you look some of this up. The topic is joy. Joy. And the scripture, I think she said it was in Nehemiah. You remember the chapter and verse? 8:10, where it says, the joy of the Lord is our strength. Amen. How strong are you tonight? Spiritually speaking. Amen. If the joy of the Lord gives you strength, I want to keep that pumping of joy into my heart. And I believe the Lord wants to give us joy, unspeakable and full of glory. And if you just look up that topic of joy in the Bible, What did David pray after he'd sinned? Somebody quote it? Stand up, Brother Taylor, and quote that for us.
Restore unto me the joy of thy salvation.
Amen. Thank you. Once again, what did David feel he was lacking after he had sinned? The joy bells of heaven quit ringing. Amen. So if we've offended somebody, we've hurt somebody, we've said something, we've done something, and you don't feel that joy, could be a reason. Amen. I guess I am preaching now. But I want the joy bells ringing in my heart. Because I believe when the joy of the Lord is in your heart, you'll be strong in the Lord. You'll be able to overcome whatever obstacles, battles that you're facing this hour. And truly we're in the midst of tribulation and trials and what's going on in our world today. And if it's ever a time that Christians, God's people, need joy, it's now. And everybody likes to be happy. Some people go to alcohol and drugs and worldly means to find some joy. But then after the bottle's gone, after the pill's gone, the joy's gone. What replaces it? Heartaches and headaches. But not so as a child of God, as Christians. We have God's joy. We may not be on the mountaintop. We may be in the valley, but there still can be the joy of the Lord in your heart. Amen. And just once in a while, that joy will come out. Praise God. And I like to be around the saints of God when the joy just pours out of their heart and their life. You've been around that. Amen. When God's saints were blessed. What were they blessed with? His presence. Amen. Once again, what's the Bible say? In His presence is the joy of the Lord. Is the fullness of joy. Amen. Where's it found? In His presence. That's why you need to go into your secret place of prayer in the morning or the nighttime and get in His presence. Amen. And in His presence is fullness of joy. Hallelujah. You can tell when people have been in the secret place of the Lord, it's just shining out of their countenance. Amen. It's the joy. The joy. And I want more of it, don't you? And I'm glad God's storehouse of grace and mercy, love, and joy is available for you and I. Amen. The joy of the Lord is your strength. My strength. Amen. So whatever it takes, Lord, help me to have more of your joy. Amen. Praise God. Hearing your testimonies tonight gives me joy. And I know it gives our pastor joy when he sees you come to services each and every time the doors open. It blesses his heart. It gives him joy and helps him to want to be his best for you and I. Amen. And we've got a wonderful pastor and family, and we are blessed, church. Amen. And we've got a wonderful congregation. And we're going to pray one for another now. And that's a means of joy. When God's people gather together to pray. Let's pray for our pastor. He's away in his family. Let's pray for our Sunday morning service. Is it with Penview this Sunday? And then a dinner pitch-in afterwards. Any other special spoken requests? Everett, okay. Amen. Amen. Yes, Brother Creech. Okay. Sure, sure. And Brother Paul Howard, we haven't seen him for a while. I know he's had some heart issues. Let's remember him in our prayers as well. Yes, sis. Uh-huh.
And she's fearful of a school shooting in Charleston, South Carolina. She called me up today, and she knows that sometimes God speaks to me with the word of knowledge.
Amen.
Sometimes I get a word of knowledge.
Sure.
And she said, Mom, they went in the bathrooms in this middle school and looked up where people hide drugs and smoke pot, and they found a loaded gun.
Wow.
And she said, Mom, I fear that one of my kids in my classes, she has remedial kids, you know, she said, I fear whether one of these classes would be wanting to shoot at the school.
Right.
And so I said, give me the list of the names, and I'll pray and see if God will speak to me about anybody. And I don't know, I finally said I heard this name in this one class, and I said, tell me about this boy. She said, Mom, I didn't want to give you his name first, but a month ago, he said he was kidding, but he said he was going to shoot up the school.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, what are they doing? He said, they wrote him up, they, you know, that they talked to a counselor, but he's back in the classroom, and she's afraid he's going to shoot her and some classmates. And so she just prayed for my daughter, Kristen.
Amen.
That this boy will not do
Right. 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 Right.
She's gone now, thank goodness they got it. But I just pray that when she talks to the principal tomorrow, that that something is done with this child so that he doesn't do it.
Amen. Yes, we sure will pray, won't we, church? Amen. Yes. Yes. Amen. God's able to protect. Amen. Praise God. Yes, sis. Yes. Pray for the family. Sure. Pray for the loved ones. Amen.
Remember Easter Sunday service.
Sure.
God, just give us a house.
Amen. 400 is what the pastors believe in and trust in God. And we keep inviting and praying. Amen. God's able. Any other unspoken request by an uplifted hand? God knows every need. I got a sister-in-law they had to put back in the hospital. I appreciate it if you remember her, and her first name is Lene. And my mother may be watching tonight, but she'd appreciate your prayers as well tonight. Amen. All who can, let's gather around the altars or just kneel there at your seats and let's pray for one another. Bless his name. Praise God. Thank you once again. Come back Sunday, prayed up, fired up, ready to go up.